Hi there. Welcome to the Fantasy Cafe. Store owner and host Buster the Fox here. Have a seat. Our special today is Stick Adventure 3.5, Stick RPG 2. Boy, it's been years since I've gotten to say that. Oh, and it's the last time because this is no longer going to be called the Fantasy Cafe. I am now renaming it to Underdog Creations because that's the name that I gave myself as a game studio back when I used to make games. Anyway, I have a bunch of games that I've wanted to do previews of for a long time now, but I have so many unfinished demos and stuff, and I was thinking, okay, well, I'll do this one as soon as I finish, this demo or whatever. But I haven't been making games in years and years, so I figure I'm just going to show you guys what I've got. And so the Fantasy Cafe is back with a vengeance. You're going to be seeing a lot more of this stuff. By the way, for those of you who don't know, the Fantasy Cafe, which is now going to be called Underdog Creations, is, these are all games made in a program called Stagecast Creator, and they're games that I myself created. Yeah, I made these games. You can tell by how crappy it looks. Of course, this is one of my older games, and this is actually leading up to a future episode of this that I really am excited to show you guys. But this is just to show off the original, just to show off the story of how this all came to be. So, you may notice it says Stick Final Fantasy 2. That's the original name I had for it. And also you may have noticed that I don't have Stick Adventure 2 or 3 recorded. They both suck horribly, and I'm not going to show them to you. Unless you really, really, really want to see them, you're not going to see them. Because they just suck. They don't really have any decent story bits and so forth. So yeah, here I just want to do a showcase of my games, demos mostly here. There's one, maybe two games that are complete that I can show you. But as of right now, I just have this. So let's go. This is very early. You can see here I have a little note to myself. I have no idea what the password is for. These two haven't been created at all. People who watched the Stick Adventure Quests Dawn video will recognize this character, Yorimoto. But this is a new character who came in Stick Adventure 3. And we'll get to her in probably the next video, because that's the one that I really want to do. So anyway, this is an RPG that I've been working on. Finally, we're getting to the actual content, right? This was the very first iteration of said RPG. I've remade it twice. So this is the first version, and then there's a second version, and then the third version is the one that's the exciting one that I'm really excited to show you. But in this video, you're going to see the first two versions. So, in this first one, we have to do this because this is the only thing that actually exists. So, you can see here I have some text. In the last screen, you saw some nice formatted text boxes. I mean, not nice formatted, but it looked decent. This is like sprite text, so I created every single one of these letters by hand as a separate sprite. And then I made rules, so I programmed it so that if I press space while it's exactly like this, then it'll do that, and it'll animate. And what I did is it's hard to explain some of the stuff that I did without explaining how Stagecast works. So, really quick, let me stop the game and open this window called the global window. Yeah, this is where all the stuff goes down, really. But I want to turn your attention to this right here. It says moving one at a time. If I change that, it'll say moving at the same time. Now, if I do moving one at a time, then this little symbol here is how you make a rule, which is how you program stuff. Now, if I bring this over here, this is turning into a bit of a little tutorial for how Stagecast works. But this is how you make the game. And if this is set to moving one at a time, then you can say okay, change to this, and then change to that, and then change to that, and then change to that. It'll do that all at once, or it'll do it in sequence, and then it'll move on to doing whatever else. However, if it's all moving at the same time, and you can change that mid-roll, by the way, which is really nice, then it'll just go, in-game you'll see it go from that straight to that, and you won't see the animation. So what I did is I'll hit play, and I'll hit space. You'll see it's moving one at a time, and whenever it does that, it the rule just, I placed each letter painstakingly just by itself. It's bad, and I've got a much better system for it, and there's a whole story behind the text system in the first place. Anyway, you see what they're saying. Stick, you are here. Yeah, what's going on? So Yorimoto, that's this guy. He's supposed to be a ninja. That's what the lines are. That's his ninja headband. And then this is Stick. It's the most original character name ever for a Stick guy. He has a sword because I was an angsty teenager when I first conceptualized this game. So if Yorimoto says it's dangerous here, and suddenly this little blotch of whatever, probably Link from The Legend of Zelda, actually it's a goblin. I based it on the goblin from Final Fantasy, the Game Boy Advance version. So I'll show a picture of that on screen so you can, at least I'll try to, so you can see what I'm talking about. That's kind of what it's based off of. But anyway, don't panic. This is the battle screen. Click on attack. So this is how the original version of the RPG worked. Let me get into that global screen one more time and show you that I have HP, max HP, attack, magic attack, defense, magic defense, and MP and max MP. That's it. There's no speed, it's just one-on-one battles. It's just you and one enemy. And then the enemy stats are all right here. This isn't set up right now because it's the tutorial. It's all kind of pre-scripted, it's hard-coded. So if I click on attack, kapow, and you can see it did 4 damage, which is good. I mean, it's nice to be able to see the damage is what I mean. The damage itself, I couldn't tell you if it's good or not. Good, you are done. Now the enemy will go. As you can see, I'm very constrained with the amount of text that I can actually put here. So he hits me, it does 3, and you can see my HP went down. Now, you might have seen the colors and thought that it's a bar that will go down. Unfortunately, I was not good enough to do that at the time. It's not something you can easily do with Stagecast, to be honest. In fact, there's a lot of... by the way, if you want to make games, don't use Stagecast, okay? Learn a real programming language or use Game Maker. Don't use Stagecast, okay? There. This is not meant to be a legitimate game-making platform. This is more to teach kids how to do programming basics and teach them how it works. Now, if it had a couple of extra features, just a few extra features, it would be amazing for game development. But it's missing some very key features. So now let's try magic. Click and use fire. Boom. Click on magic, and then you can click to go back. In the original Stick Adventure 3, as soon as you click the magic menu, you were locked into doing something because I forgot to program in a back button. So fire. Kapow. And that sound effect was just me going into a microphone. And it was a bad microphone, so it actually came out okay. So then you have to watch out for your MP because it'll run out, and then great, you have one. You gain EXP after battle. As you can see, I made that into a glyph. That's one character right there. You can totally tell. And even though he said you gain EXP, we don't gain any. Not here. And then you can flee battle too, but it fails at times. Oh, we must go. And then this is the tutorial stage of some sort. This is something I'm really proud of, though. The map system, it's much smarter in future iterations of the game. But use the arrow keys to move. You cannot move through trees nor mountains. I don't think... Oh, wow. It went on its own. I don't think nor is grammatically correct there, but I don't care to fix it, and it's extremely hard to fix it with the system the way it is now. Enemies appear in oddly colored squares, so that means if you walk here you can get random encounters, like Pokemon. You walk in the tall grass and you can get encounters, but everywhere else you're fine. Press the enter key to open the menu. Try it now, so if I press space nothing happens. I have to hit enter, and this is the current menu. So here, you see the text is different. So this is the very first iteration of my actual text system that I created. So you still use space like the game has already taught you. This is the menu screen. Here you can view your status, check enemy info in the bestiary, or enter the save screen. You will be referring to this menu a lot. Space. And it goes straight to the next text. There's no scrolling or anything, which is important to note for later. You will normally have a pointer here, which you can move using the up and down arrows, which this is the tutorial version of the menu, so it's not here. You could press the spacebar to enter the selected menu. Spacebar is sort of like the action button for this game. For this tutorial, I'll simply explain the features. Don't worry, you'll have time to explore it for yourself later. That's my young mind thinking they're being impatient because it's a tutorial. But really, why do you need to explain this? It's pretty self-explanatory. But whatever. In the status screen, you check your HP, MP level, amount of experience, and more. Duh. The bestiary allows you to view information about monsters you've defeated. Not true. It allows you to see information about monsters you have seen. You don't have to defeat them. If you use this to your advantage, you can deal massive amounts of damage. Attack its weak spot for massive damage. Giant enemy crabs. There aren't any giant enemy crabs in this game, but it's a reference. It's a meme. For each monster has a unique page in the bestiary, so they have magical weaknesses and stuff that you can exploit, and you can see if they have really low defense or special magic defense. I'm getting into Pokemon mood here, and then you use strategies using this information. So yeah, once you see an enemy for the first time, its data is recorded here, which automatically makes you know that this first line is false, but whatever. In the save screen, you have to option to save your game, which is not true. I never programmed it because the game is unfinished. Make sure you follow the instructions carefully, blah 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 blah. Main menu to continue adventure. As you saw, I had a password thing on the front screen. That's probably what I was trying to do before. I was going to make a password system instead of the save system for now. This concludes my lessons for now. Be careful on the way. Luster Fields. I think I misspelled Fields there. This is Luster Fields, and coming up here is Lustertown. Don't do anything rash. So I think if I go up here, you normally you know what? I'll get to that later. Anyway, I go up, and you have to go through here. So let's hit enter. I was trying to hit escape. It's escape in the new version of the game. So this is definitely a pointer. You can go like that. So let's go into status. Oh, space, not enter. So these are our stats. It's pretty plain looking. Level 1, no experience. We have 25 XP until the next level. 15 HP, 8 MP, 10, 10, 5, 5. Simple. Bestiary. We do not have the goblin here. And then there's only like 5 enemies in this game in the end, so whatever. Save, I have a bunch of notes to myself. I've deleted the rules for the save and load function, blah 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 blah. All that stuff, you can pause and read that if you want. It's probably not very interesting, but yeah, it does nothing. So that's that, and then clicking back and we'll go back. So let's show a battle. Uh-oh. That wasn't me, by the way. That's a preloaded sound effect that Stagecast comes with. It's a clip sound. So let's use magic because fire is good against the killer bees. Wow, that was really good. Let's hit attack, and that should kill it. Cool. Victory, 8 EXP gains. And then if you saw, the enemy respawned real quick. And that's kind of how I made the encounters work in this game. Depending on what area you're in, let's fight another battle. In fact, first I want to show you. Bestiary, killer bee is here. And then you can see his weakness is fire. He has 4 defense, 4 magic, or 5 magic defense. So even though he has slightly higher magic defense, if you use fire, it'll do, I think, double damage in this version of the game. And he gives more HP than the goblins do. Only by a little bit, but he does. Okay, so I guess it just randomly decides to give you an encounter every time you step. Wow, yeah, okay. In future iterations of the game, I have a step counter that will make sure you don't get an encounter within a minimum of so many steps. Oh, that's weird. Why is the menu still here? Oh, it's gone. Okay. I don't know, man. I haven't played this particular version of the game in years. But yeah. Anyway, up we go. So this is Luster Town, and we have some text. You've made it to town, and by the way, this is bad, that it lets you move. Let's see, can I leave? Yes. Oh, but it's still here, so it's fine. I guess. Yeah, there's, yeah, well, with the old text system, it works fine, but with the new one, this would not work. So, pretend this is Chrono Trigger, you can move around while there's text on screen. Or, Secret of Mana. Or whatever. Anyway, you've made it to town. We should be safe for now. You can speak with the people around town by pressing spacebar while facing them. Also, I suggest you stay in the inn. Alright, that's it. And then the text box gets to stay. So that it's set up whenever I do this, which looks bad. But, hey, I wasn't very good at making games. This is Luster Town. We used to come and go as we pleased, but because of the monsters, we've been pretty much trapped here. I wonder what's going on. Alright, and then always face away from the NPCs when you're playing this game. Not that I have a way for you to play it. I guess you could download it from my really old website if you were able to find it. Later. There's so much stuff I could talk about here, but I don't want to get too long-winded. We're already 16 minutes into this, and we're only halfway through the game. Well, it's less than halfway, really. No, it's about halfway. Whatever. Some travelers had come by before the monsters hit. Like the hurricane hit. I don't know what I was trying to say there, but they never got a chance to leave, the poor dears. They've been staying at the inn while they waited for the monsters to disappear, but it doesn't look like that'll happen anytime soon. So this is the inn. This NPC is hilarious in a future version of the game, but in this one he says, well, you're a new face, how did you manage to survive with all them monsters around? I see you have a sword, I guess you know how to fight them, well, good for you, as regular people on the other hand, we don't have such luck. I'll just let you guys pause and read that if you want. The NPC text is not really on point, in fact none of the text is on point for any of this. So there's a little glitch that can happen. I talked to him twice. And now he forces me to rest twice. Oh well. Alright, so I talked to those NPC. Let's go in here. Talk to you. You can pause and read if you want. And then talk to you. This is the mayor. He plays no part in this game, but he does in a future version. So then off we go to this side. And you can see here, I have a secret. There's 1 million XP just sitting right here, but there is no programmed method for getting there. And also, if you were to interact with it, it wouldn't actually do anything. So it's just a troll. Boy, I'm doing consistent damage. I guess I hadn't programmed in variable damage in this version of the game.
Uh-oh.
Oh. See, that's why you need a step counter, so that you don't have encounters literally every step. Okay, so after this we'll get our first level up at least.
Alright.
So as soon as I hit space.
Yeah.
Yeah! Alright. So all stats plus 2. That's interesting. So it doesn't give you variable stat ups either. It just increases 2 to all of your stats. Except your HP, which nearly doubled. Right? How much HP did I start with? I started with 15 HP and now 61? Choose a bonus. Oh, wow. I didn't know. Wow. Okay, so according to my global window over here, max HP was at 20. Or wasn't it at 25 before? I'm so confused. It was at 20 and that was at 8. Oh. 20. That's the HP. This is the amount I need for the next level. Alright, so this is something I was actually considering adding to the new version of the game because it's weird. You can't read defense because the background color is too dark. This, I got the idea from the Mario and Luigi series. So after you level up in Mario and Luigi, you can choose one of your stats and then it gives you a roulette and you can get from like 1 to possibly up to 4 in that stat, you get a bonus. So if you want a specific build for your character, you can just keep on choosing like magical attack to give him lots of magic, or if you want to take hits really easily, you can give him extra stuff. For this one, let's just give him attack. So enter status. So yeah, we have extra attack. Everything goes up by 2, but then you can choose a bonus for 1. That's how that works in this one, which is actually kind of nice. It just lets you build your character the way you want. Now, this is a little shortcut. You end up going through just as many spaces as if you went down that way. So it was kind of silly for me to add that. I think there's nothing to do with this. Yeah, there's no rules on there. Is there anything having to do with it? Let's see. Oh, no, that's a... I just want to make sure I didn't actually program giving you 1 million XP. Okay, because there's a lot of stuff I don't remember about this game. Anyway, up we go. Oh, and suddenly a story scene. Alright. Well, look who it is, our young wizardess friends. So this is Petal. She's a wizardess. She does magic better than most of the party. So Stick kind of does everything. He does attacking and he does magic. He's like a balanced all-around character. Yorimoto, he's a ninja. He has some status effect moves and he is better like martial arts and stuff. Petal is the one who does magic. So that's sort of... the party is even that way. Need to stop wiping my nose on camera, huh? Alright, Stick, Yorimoto, what a surprise seeing you here. Did you come to see me, Stick? I'm not even going to get into why that is. I was an emo kid back when I made this. It's embarrassing. I'm not going to talk about it. If I ever show you the original Stick Adventure 3, you'll see exactly what this character was conceptualized as. I'm trying to make her not that anymore. Alright, that's enough of that. Well, not exactly. Look at that, he's so oblivious. We came here to investigate the monster crisis. Do you know anything? Monster crisis? What are you talking about? I didn't know anything like that was going on. It is certainly no good thing. Monsters have been appearing all over the place recently, causing trouble for villagers and wanderers alike. Stick and I are attempting to locate the origin point of the beasts. Oh, I see. That sounds pretty bad. Well, I haven't seen anything weird yet. How's your search going so far? Fruitless at best. We don't have a clue where to start. All we can do is travel around and ask people about it. Ooh, well, we could ask my mentor. She knows some really powerful magic, and she can even see the future. I'll bet she'll know something. Really? Great. In that case, lead the way, Petal. Okay, she lives in Sunset Valley. Follow me. And we're in Sunset Valley. So we're going to go up here. I'm going to talk to her real quick. This is where my mentor lives. She should be able to help us. You can rest here too, I guess. We go over here, and that's the end of this demo. So there's a little bit more to show. I'm going to go back. So first I want to real quick show you the... I never fought a goblin. Oh my gosh. I'm going to go try to find a goblin real quick. BRB.
Uh-oh.
No. I think the flee command is broken. Oh my gosh. Well, you got to hear the game over song. Oh, that was the worst luck ever. So when you game over, it just resets the game, which forces you to load up your last save point. Oh, that's interesting. It just takes you to the page and then it... Anyway, that's fine. That's all we really needed to show. All the other stuff that I was going to show you is in the next version. So I'm actually going to load up the next version. This is going to be a long boy. So be right back. You're going to be seeing version 2 of Stick RPG